Well, Jeff Beal, it's great to have you in our midst this week, conducting the Radio Philharmonic with the House of Cards Symphony. Well, tell me just how much music, the body of music you compose per season?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, it's a lot. I have an iTunes playlist that I usually keep before I start making a soundtrack for that season, and it usually comes in around 6 hours of underscore.
Per season?
Per season, yeah.
So was it a piece of cake to draw a symphony or a symphonic suite from this total body of music?
I really wanted to design this evening as a satisfying whole. So in a way, I also wanted to select material that would have a certain arc to it and a certain variety of emotional tone and sort of visit different elements of what I think make the series special. So that was a lot of fun, actually.
And what is the transition like from the TV screen to the concert hall, to the concert hall?
It was really interesting because the sound space is a lot different than when you're writing for television and the small screen for actors. There's a certain space that the music exists in, a certain way you orchestrate. And what I realized when I started hearing this music played in fuller orchestration, that I really wanted to expand. I wanted to make use of the orchestra.
What is the role of the music in the series?
A good score is like a character in a drama. It's not always just a purely objective voice. Often it acts as a sort of a conduit through which you understand one of the characters. So really, it's this sort of interesting alter ego to the world.
Which may not run parallel with what the actor thinks or feels.
Often it's most interesting when the music tells you something about the story or a feeling or an idea that connects to what you're seeing, but it also enhances it.
Do you compose after an episode is edited?
Yeah, I mean, usually the music is one of the very last elements to be created. And that's pretty much my workflow. But one of the real fun things about doing House of Cards is that from the very beginning, I've also occasionally worked on themes before they've actually shot the film. That's how I started, actually. I started writing sketches for David Fincher even before he started shooting the first couple episodes, so I worked off of scripts. So that's been fun too. You know, sometimes when you're writing to picture, you know, you sort of have a lot of information. It's got to be this long, it's got to hit this beat, and it sort of can sometimes dictate the musical flow. And I also like the idea of writing away from picture.
Who is in the whole realm of great classical masters your idol?
When I look about a classical composer, I have to think of Stravinsky, because I was a young man playing trumpet in a youth symphony in California, playing The Rite of Spring, Le Sacre de Printemps. And I just had this amazing epiphany that I knew I had to write for an orchestra. I think the one thing that spoke to me about that piece, aside from the fact that it was a wonderful piece of classical music, it's also a ballet and it's telling a story. The composers that I love the most are the ones that manage to really, their music has an emotional narrative to me. That's what I like about music. That's why I love doing film music so much, and I love this idea of music as really a device through which we tell stories.
So this House of Cards Symphony this Saturday at the Concertgebouw, just before, on the threshold of the 5th season.
Yes, good timing.
All the music composed and recorded? It's all done?
Yes, I finished about a month and a half ago. Yes, yeah.
Great honor to have you here in our midst, conducting the Radio Philharmonic. You have conducted the Metropole Orchestra, but
I
not
have
the Radio
the
Philharmonic.
Metropole, yes, my first time here, and I'm sort of excited to really be in this fine concert hall. It's the first time I've worked in Concertgebouw, so it's a huge honor to be there. That's an amazing place for music.
Enjoy the event.
Thank you so much.
So will we.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Aanstaande zaterdag in de matinee Jeff Beal, The House of Cards, niet als tv-serie, maar als heuse symfonie. Geniet ervan.